Jake from Fort Worth, Texas, he said, recently, ranked teams have gone down to unranked teams in week one. Duke beat Clemson last year. Florida beat Utah the year before. Virginia Tech beat North Carolina the year before that. So in 2024, which highly ranked team will drop a week one game? So I did a couple of things. I asked the staff, give me a list of some of the notable games, because not all of these feature ranked versus unranked. We don't even have the AP poll out yet. The JP poll's not even meant for this sort of thing. But here's an idea of what we got coming up. So we got like Florida State, Georgia Tech in week 0. That game's in Ireland. We got Penn State, West Virginia. Clemson, Georgia's a neutral site. Both of those teams will be ranked, but Georgia's like a 13-point favorite. Miami's at Florida in week 1, true road game. Fresno State at Michigan. So I'm going to break down 3 of these. I'm going to leave Clemson, Georgia alone because both of those teams will be ranked. But let's talk about this for a second. Can Georgia Tech beat Florida State? I just picked Florida State to win the ACC, so naturally I'm putting an upset alert in week 1. This is week 0, actually, and it's in Ireland. And when I think about college football games in Ireland, I think about 2 years ago. And I think about Northwestern upsetting Nebraska en route to a 1-11 season. Thus was the Scott Frost era at Nebraska. They go over there to Ireland. They lose. Northwestern hangs a goose egg the rest of the year in the win column. 1-11. The one win in Ireland against Nebraska. So one thing that Florida State is not, and that is Nebraska, circa Scott Frost. However, I believe in Georgia Tech's offense. I believe in Haynes King. Didn't say that so much when he was in College Station, but I'll say it now. They return a ton. They finished very strong. It's a team that is sure of itself. Now, if you can slice their defense up, Florida State can win this going away. The question about week 1 in college football any given year when you have so much roster churn is DJU coming in and doing that? Do they have the established playmaking ability on the perimeter to just, boom, right out of the gate do that? Week 6, they probably do. I'm picking them to win the conference right now because of that. But in week 1 or week 0, anything can happen. And Georgia Tech, if they can make the game ugly, if it's not and it's like 17-14 at the end of the first quarter, if it's not that kind of game, if it's like 6-3 at the end of the first quarter, that's the kind of game where you let Brent Key's team hang around and they are looking for that signature win and no one even knows where they are. You can't even find it on GPS. The phone's all messed up. Where are we? Dublin, Georgia? No, Dublin, Ireland. I'm just saying it's a week 0 game, so let's keep an eye on that one. Let's keep an eye on Penn State at West Virginia. West Virginia last year entered the season with Neil Brown on everyone's hot seat list, and then what they did was they found their identity. They discovered who they were, and they finished 9-4. And now no one talks about Neil Brown on the hot seat. Now people who really want to sound hip, they sort of get in the back of the room and they whisper, sleeper team, West Virginia, sleeper team. Well, you got Garrett Green at quarterback, solid. Penn State, offensive line, are they as good as they were last year? In other words, can they go in this game and lean on West Virginia? Drew Aller, new offensive system on the road, extremely hostile, will be Morgantown for that game. And so week 3, I'd feel a little bit better about this. Week 1, this is college football, man. What's the line, Jesse? Penn State minus about 10.5 right now at FanDuel. So, I mean, we see that every week, much less in week 1s in the past. West Virginia, I would say not more of a known commodity. We know what Penn State wants to do, but the thing is they want to do a whole lot more this year. But we're not talking about this year. We're talking about week 1. So Penn State could find themselves in a dogfight down there. That's a true road game. That's not neutral site. And thank you guys for that. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of a flyer here, and I need to probably yell. Fresno State at Michigan State. Michigan is, or not Michigan State, would be very competitive. Fresno State is at Michigan, week 1. The line on the game is 20.5. I need to ask you to do one thing, and that's just calm down. Everyone calm down. My Michigan folks, calm down. This isn't a prediction segment. This isn't you're going down week 1. It's just, it's meant to present it. It's meant to ask questions. You lose the pieces you do offensively. Am I supposed to blindly assume that you just dive right back in and it's all seamless? Fresno State, returning quarterback, top 3 offensive production returning. They're a good team. They've won 29 games the last 3 years. This is an organization that knows how to win. Now, they've had upheaval at the head coaching position, but you guys have found out within the past year what happens to a veteran team when it loses its leader. Sometimes that can galvanize. So let's not just assume that you've got some shaky G5 operation coming in here in week one. Alex Orgy, if things click right out of the gate, Michigan should steamroll them. Things don't always click right out of the gate, is the point. So those are some of the notable games, and if you're talking upset, those are some of the games where I'd at least keep my eyes peeled.